I'm excited to announce a new partnership with Spot Hogg Archery and Nock. We've been working on a site collaboration for quite a while, and we've landed on a product that I personally have loved to use in my custom builds, and also a product that most of my friends have trusted for years. Spot Hogg is a company that has a perfect reputation, bulletproof design, and are super durable in the field. Now, what I went with was a fast eddy stock sight that mounts directly to the bow and does not have a removable dovetail feature. This is something that I personally like for hunting, and because it's so compact, you can still travel with these without having to remove them from your bow case. And they're also at a perfect depth to where when you set your bow down as a bow hunter, your stabilizer is going to protect that from going down in the mud. Now, we've made several changes to this sight that really suits my preferred shooting style and also the type of sight picture that I like to see when acquiring my target. Now, the two options that we're going to have is a 5-pin version that is still movable so that you can use that bottom pin as a rover and go ahead and shoot all of those extended yardages, as well as the really popular 2-pin version that's going to give you the ability to adjust to finite yardages, adjust to the individual yard, and use that top pin for super precise aiming. Now, one of the things that we changed on these sights is we went with a standard .019 pin, but ours are going to come with a green, red, green, red, green for the 5-pin version and a green, red for the 2-pin version. Now, another thing that you'll notice is the front aperture rings are different colors on the Nock NE versions. It's a bright white as well as a bright white, flow green, bright white. So on the 5-pin version, you're going to get 3 ring options with your purchase. You're going to get either the standard all solid white, which I personally prefer because it lets me shoot a slightly smaller peep sight, or you're going to be able to shoot the larger white green white or the medium size white green white. Now, this is perfect depending on your peep size and also the type of acquisition that you prefer to get. Now, on the 2-pin version, it's going to come standard with the white green white, but you also get that solid all white ring as well. Now, what I like about that is when you're in a dark situation, for example, in a hunting blind where light gets very low, the white is going to be the easiest contrast to see when you're looking through a darker peep sight. And this is something that's really helped me both in the field as a hunter and also as a target archer when you get into some very shaded canopies. Now, one of the things that we did was we took a survey from the Nock Nation and asked them what type of colors they wanted to see on their sight scales. There was a magnitude of colors that were options, but the two that stood out were red and green, and because that vote came dead down the center at 50-50, we've decided to offer you 2 full kits of both red and green for those sight tapes. Now, another thing we did for this NE version of the Fast Eddy is we actually went to an extended sight tape. So depending on your speed and your clearance, you're going to be able to get a longer sight tape and further yardage than you would with a standard tape. So if you're shooting on anywhere from a 1 to a number 10 on this scale, you're going to be able to shoot out to 110 yards, and once you get to 11 or faster, you're going to be able to shoot 120 yards with these sight scales. Now, a lot of people ask the question, what sight is going to be best for me, a 2-pin version or a 5-pin version? And I like to break that down like this. As a hunter and in a hunting situation where you're getting into a location quick, you're trying to get all of your ranges, you're trying to get some points of reference with the rangefinder because you know animals could be coming in quick and you're going to have limited movement. You're not going to be able to range and fine-tune that sight to an exact yardage. And in those situations, I really prefer the 5-pin sights. And this is something that I personally hunt with. A 5-pin version that allows me to continually center my peep and my front ring, and then use the rover or the bottom pin for anything that I need over 60 yards, which works awesome. Now, if you're in a situation where you're hunting over a feeder, you're hunting over decoys, you're hunting in a ground blind where you're hunting over a food source, and you know that you're going to be able to have the ability to move and also range, then that 2-pin version is an awesome choice because of just how precise you can be when you set that sight and make your shot. So depending on your application, you do have different choices. For turkey hunting, I did shoot a 2-pin version because I was doing a lot of training and a lot of practice with the 2-pin version on my bow so that I could really see how well I'm grouping, and I have a lot more finite aiming and simplicity when I was in practice. But for turkeys, because I was over a decoy and I knew that those turkeys were going to be coming into that decoy location, I was easily able to have that sight set at that same distance, and it worked flawlessly. Now, one of the things that's awesome is we are offering a double pin adapter kit, which allows you to take a 5-pin version, remove the 2 screws that hold the third axis, and take the 5-pin head off, and then easily mount on that 2-pin head. So this allows you to have the best of both worlds without having to buy 2 complete sights. Now, I'm super excited about this project. I think you're going to be really happy with this product. It's a bulletproof design, and it's something that I think as we move forward in time, we're going to continue to make better designs and even better custom designs for these products. But be sure to check out the new Nock On Fast Steady NE sight by Spot Hogg.